I've been counting the days since a boy told me he'd take me to his favorite art museums as if it is ever going to happen. As if our schedules would allow it. As if our paths cross more than every few weeks. Now we only see each other in dining halls if we happen to both be there at the same time. We sit down at a table alone. Our conversations are always stale. The same dialogue repeated 1,000 times. How's this week? How are classes? Half of the script is awkward silence. We had more to talk about weeks ago. Once we'd ask each other to lunch. Once he'd walk me back after dark. Once the plates are empty enough to be cleared. One of us jumps up, rushes our goodbye, and I don't count the days till I see him again. Sometimes I feel like elevator music, or the hold button on a dial tone, a pass the time, a placeholder, until someone shinier comes along. Never worth the commitment. My manic, not consistent enough for their fantasy. My pixie, too colorful for their poli-sci major, for their CS, for their econ. But if they show me their favorite novel, or maybe a painting that made them almost cry, maybe I can color in some sort of hue, search for a lover inside a monotonous man. Every what if has been colorless. All the almosts are bugs attracted to light. The first playlist a boy ever made for me was written by men who pity themselves, but was made up of love songs written by men who pity themselves too much to tell a girl his feelings. I now have a list of red flag bands tattooed under my eyelids. Included but not limited to Radiohead, Weezer, The Smiths, Hobo Johnson, Talking Heads, Weezer, The Cure, Fleet Foxes. Did I say Weezer? When the next girl comes, he creates a new soundtrack with all the same songs, changes the title of the playlist, and does not delete my own. So I can still go back and listen from time to time. It's a shame we have the same music taste. I share the same love songs to all the boys who ask. No one ever cares to learn the lyrics. The same boys ask me to write poems about them. I send a blank page every time and congratulate them for leaving a poet speechless. I've yet to meet a boy who hasn't given me writer's block maybe just once. I thought it so poetic that we came from two different languages belonging to the same river. This one wasn't a character for long, barely a hook at the start of a poem. His smile enough to imagine symphonies out of our tides, but the beginning of the Nile's waters do not always run sweet. A man is a boy and not a poem, but I look for a poem inside of every Muslim man. Dream of a love story so simple, two halves dancing together without a single touch. When the first real love leaves, my father holds me for 3 days as I cry a river. Never tells me I told you so. My father does not make a lesson out of my heartbreak, laughs at the boy only after I stop crying, says he's too weak for my strength, too dull for my light, makes a joke about how easy his bones would break if my dad even looked at him funny. My father used to insist I marry an Egyptian, hoping that would mean someone who is strong and caring like him, but after the introduction, he says never mind. If this is the type of boy coming from the river, then fish in another sea. At the other end of the river, I've had boys tell me their favorite hobby is studying my trauma as an attempt at flirting. As if talking about the downfall of my home country is sexy. My people have lost too much to violence and corruption just for its politics to be used as a pickup line. My neighborhood's walls are covered with murals memorializing the children caught in crossfire. The same children sat in my classrooms. The same children I called cousins and neighbors and friends. Our blood is collected into the same buckets. No stitches can mend these bloody rivers. When I tell the boys how broken their hobby has left me, the lunch table grows quiet. The plates are put away quickly, and suddenly, they don't find it so sexy. You'd think a man would just ask to be a punching bag. Once, my best friend told me he had loved me for the entire 2 years of our friendship, but wouldn't tell his girlfriend. 3 years since I've spoken to him. I asked my friends about them each year. They are still together, high school sweethearts. When I asked him why he was too coward to tell her, he said he didn't see why it was necessary. Excused it as I didn't like him anyway. She was my friend first. 7th grade drama club, always shared the same supporting roles. The last time I saw her, she gave me the biggest hug, not knowing what tragedy he had caused. Right then, my heart broke for her, stuck with all the wrong man. The sad part about it, I don't think she'd leave if she knew. Turn the blame on herself instead. Keep quiet. Hold on to his false love as long as possible. Choose a lie over no love at all. I don't blame her. I'm still unlearning how to love all the wrong man. Still learning what true love looks like. Still learning not to find a poem in every almost, as if any of them were real choices at all.